Julian, this is not a lie, did make himself violently ill for an entire weekend by putting my entire foot in his mouth as a gag.
And as a gag, that means a joke, not as in like actual gag, although I did gag. We were driving up to meet some of Robin's friends. It was Lake Placid, and this car was alongside us. There was this kid who kept staring at me. I didn't care for that. Robin was on the other side, and she had her bare feet in my lap. And then so I just picked up Robin's foot, and I held it up and showed the kids, because like from his angle, I guess he didn't know what this foot was. I was like, maybe he'll think it's my foot. And then I had what I thought was a pretty good prank idea. Just went like, whoa! And I put all of it, and to be clear, I'm not in defeat, despite all the evidence in the contrary. And then the kid freaks out and starts screaming, and then he points to his mum and dad, goes, Mom, look at the man. And then I quickly put Robin's foot down and go like this, so nothing's happening. And then so the kid goes, he's got a foot in his mouth, and they look, and I'm just sitting there completely normal.
And was it worth it?
Unrelated.
You got a flesh-eating bacteria in the back of your throat.
Well, nothing was diagnosed, but it certainly hurt a lot, and I got very ill. And really didn't get to see much of the race, to be honest with you. And no, it wasn't worth it. Welcome to On the Apps, the dating podcast. I'm a comic in New York City, Julian. This is
Robin Richardson, attorney in New York City. Julian's wife, Easy Puke.
All right, this episode we want to focus on one thing in particular, a funny story that happened to Robin recently.
I don't think it's funny at all.
I think it's very amusing. No, it's not. We'll get to it. And maybe we'll start off with you explaining what happened. And I have a bunch of notes of things I think are funny about it.
All right. I got rejected.
Boom, one win for the good guys. Pretty girls getting rejected. I think we can all get on board. Robin,
you know what?
Shocked.
I'm gonna steal Pancake right now because I can't take it.
She needs an emotional support one.
I need an emotional support animal.
It was just, I felt bad when you told me.
Well, so I asked, there was like a guy who's like a friend of a friend of a friend. I didn't know much about him. I liked his vibe. It's the first time I've liked somebody.
Got rejected again.
It's the first time I've liked somebody's vibe in a long time. And I was like, all right, I'm just gonna ask him out. And I had like plans to ask him out in person. And then things kind of fell through, and Julian's like, why would you do that? That's crazy. And also, he called it, because I was like, oh, well, I would rather just have like an answer. Like, I hate the idea of like texting, and then I have to wait for an answer. And he's like, well, that's very like pickup artist coded. Yeah,
so a couple of things. Quick background, if you're new to the pod. Me and Robin are married, but we are open, so we date other people. But for the last 2 years, Robin hasn't really been dating other people.
Really been dating.
She's just been very sad, not looking at other people. And then finally she was like, you know what, I'll get back on the horse. I found someone. So she was very excited and nervous about this. And then Robin really has the mindset of a man. I think you have the mindset of a man with a lot of these things. You're very creepy. And what you said to me in the text was something like, well, if I get him in person, basically the subtext was like, if I corner him. Then he has to answer straight away. Whereas I always think, because it's awkward, because it's open, there's details involved. I think the text is nice, because then they get to kind of take time and respond to it, as opposed to being kind of flabbergasted in person.
Time where I have to sit there and be anxious.
Yes, Robin had to turn her phone off.
I had to walk away from it.
And I said, she was feeling nervous, and I gave her advice. I said, Robin, if you're feeling nervous, do the Pope voice.
Oh, I forgot. And Pope.
For some reason, Robin does a Pope voice. Do it again.
It's because I am a Pope. I'm at a Pope.
Yeah, so obviously, it's like he's in the room with us. Keep in mind, this is the old Pope.
And the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
This is the old, not Chicago Pope. So
he loved Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, all true. I said, do the Pope voice, which I guess helped us.
I forgot to do that. If I had done that, he probably would have said yes.
So Robin waited, and I'm sure that happened, and then got the text back. And I think what was so funny to me, I don't know if I have more notes on this. Oh, actually, one thing on a breach first.
So I texted, and I just said, hey, I had mentioned before that I'm open. Would you like to get a drink sometime and see where it goes? If you have any questions about my relationship or what I'm looking for, just let me know. Happy to answer. And then I walked away from my phone for 45 minutes.
She sent a dick pic.
It was Julian's dick, actually.
Yeah, just... It's a smart move. Okay, and what did he say back?
It was quite a long text, so it was just basically like, thanks, appreciate it. I'm dealing with something kind of dramatic and messy right now. If things were different, I would take you up on it, but...
Yeah, and how did that make you feel?
I mean, in the moment, I was like, okay. I had a lot of feelings. The first feeling was shock, genuine shock. The second feeling
to be a pretty girl. Whenever I get rejected, I'm just like, did you hear what I said?
It's not that I haven't been rejected before. I have been rejected many times. It's just every time it happens, it is a little surprising.
Robin just wants to be the villain of this podcast. Also, I should mention, you said that...
Oftentimes men are so like, because men don't get asked out that much, or
No.
in my experience, maybe it's different now, maybe it's different. But in my experience, they're unless they have a girlfriend, it's very, it's usually like, just like such shock and like, that they're just kind of like, like there's not a lot, like, it's like, if somebody walked up to you and was just like, do you want this free pizza? It hasn't been eaten or opened or anything. It's just a free pizza.
So you're
like,
saying,
yeah.
Okay, so to be clear, you're a free pizza in this example.
Yeah. I was
Okay.
going to say $100, but then I knew you were going to make fun of that. So.
$100? That's a steal, sweetie. American dollars.
But also, I was also just really shocked that I got like he gave me backstory about having drama and also that like drama, like past drama, like drama that's over.
But he gave you when you read the text to me, it was like a lot of he was very consoling. He's like, listen, and
Yeah.
I can imagine you were like, you don't have to fucking console
You don't
me.
have to do that.
I'm a woman.
Reject me with cold cruelty. No, it just was like a lot. And also this person is like Gen Z, so it was just like a little bit different. Like the
It was very emotionally mature language.
Very emotionally mature.
Which Robin disdains. It's kind of funny. They want emotionally mature language, and this guy was like,
there's got to
I
be
respect
one
your-
emotionally mature person in any pairing, and it's not gonna be me. So
It was like very respectful, and you were like, why is he talking to me like that? Just tell me I'm a bitch.
No, just say it. I mean, I don't want that. Like,
I know.
I'm like happy for us to.
You want to like, sorry, but
friendly.
I have something going on right now, but I
Yeah,
appreciate
I was
it.
just kind of like, well, that's a lot of information, and thanks, but
I'm glad you brought up here with Gen Z, because this brings up my favorite point. Age difference.
yeah. Oh, and then wait, what part do you want to say about that?
I have a few things, but you go first.
No, that's it. Just like I felt very weird about asking out somebody who's Gen Z. Because this is now, that would be it was by far the biggest age gap I've ever had. And I had gone around asking all of my closest friends and my sister, I think this person is maybe 24. I am 41. I think that is too big of an age gap. But he is also the first person I've been attracted to in like 2 years, aside from my husband.
Yes, thank you.
And I was like, and so I felt very complicated about this, or very reticent about that. So I asked every single one of my friends, and nobody gave me pushback. Like, I was expecting everybody to be like, Robin, that's inappropriate. Like, that's really creepy. And I think also, like, it is, especially if you're, like, looking for, a relationship. Like, if you're looking for if you want to date, like, traditionally, I could understand that there is, like, a power imbalance of, like, just knowledge, just like the amount of knowledge you have.
I don't
about
think
the
you've
world.
learned a lot since 22. I think, to me, the imbalance comes from like, it's more, I don't know, there's it like morally wrong versus whether I judge you personally. I don't think it's morally wrong. I will say, if like one of my friends who was 41 brought like we'll go even further, like a 19-year-old girl.
Just say 24. Why?
Fine, 24.
Yeah.
But I think 19 is even worse. But 24,
Well, 19 would be.
You might, until you met them, your first thought was like, well, why is this,
what the
what's wrong
hell?
with you, as opposed to not being immoral, but like, do you not have it? But I also think there's plenty of 24-year-olds who would be very mature and interesting and fun.
Yeah.
But my main thing is I'm very excited about the prospect of you opening the door for both of us to hook up with much younger people. Okay, because you're doing it as a woman, that's allowed, and all your female friends.
They were. I was so shocked. Like, my sister literally said, "Are you? What are you trying to put a baby in him? Like, just go for it." And I guess like there is also something like when you're just like, "Hi, would you like to have sex? I'm married, and I'm looking for a casual relationship that's like sexual and friendly, respectful." But like not, very upfront about what I'm offering. Like, is there still that same level of like?
Well, it feels like there's less manipulation. It feels
yeah,
because the problem when the cliche of like a 40-year-old guy and a 19-year-old girl or whatever, a 24-year-old girl, is that he's kind of implying to her that they're a real thing. Mm-hmm. Whereas in his mind, the whole time he's like, no, I'm just hooking up with her. Whereas she's like, oh, I want to meet your friends, and then it's there's an imbalance in expectation and then she's like coming with all this stuff, and the guy's like, trust me, she's not that. And then so that they want different things and they're lying to each other effectively. Whereas I think you were very upfront, so it's different. But the important thing is you've opened the door.
I've opened the door.
Okay, and I'm what, 6 years younger than you, so I can do 18. I think that's how it works.
Somebody was like, I think the rule is half your age plus 7. And I was like, well, he's younger than that.
Yes.
And my old rule, and I think this is super common, was just like, if you do not have an independent recollection of 9/11, then you're too young for me. This person definitely does not have an independent recollection of 9/11.
No, but you can't do Mark Wahlberg either because he has a recollection, but he said he would have stopped it. There's the other side.
There's no rule against hooking up with somebody who would have stopped 9/11.
That's true, but I just don't think Mark Wahlberg would have done it, and he shouldn't be afraid of that. Okay, so I'm glad you brought up the age because I wanted to mention that. This is great too, actually. Something you said, which I think should be on the record for everyone to know. I'm so proud of my wife because she took so well to being a creep. And I said, this guy's 24, and she goes, he's very mature for his age. And I said, who have you been hanging out with? What
He's
guys?
Very mature.
And I'm sure he is from what you've heard, but it was just funny to me that you use that phrase, which is like such a coded.
It's so creepy. There's really no way around it.
I'm just
Maybe
very excited.
It's for the best. It's probably just for the best.
Well,
honestly.
I was worried you were going to meet him, and when you go to see him, he's Chris Hansen. Hi, Robin. Take a seat. I do love, though, it's kind of funny, like, the difference between men and women. Well, when I've had men in my lives have this dilemma about age, but it's from such a different, more sinister perspective, where you're like, is it wrong? And every guy's like, will I get in trouble? Every guy's like, is this illegal?
Get in trouble? Yeah.
Will I be
not
judged?
illegal, you won't get in trouble. But
No, but I mean, as in judged, yeah, which is a version of trouble.
I mean, yeah, I guess you would be judged. I don't know. Would I be judged? Is that as a woman?
But I think this is one of those rare examples where it's beneficial.
Is there a difference?
Yeah, I think now it's better to be a woman for that because I think you can be like it's fun to be a creepy woman.
Fast forward 15 years when I'm definitely going to get canceled, and people will be like, "That was really wrong what we were doing to young men."
Exactly.
It's really wrong.
But
all those cougars just sitting on young men's faces.
Cougar watch.
Just, ugh.
So many. But no, there will because I know like the thing that 10 years ago
Ruined
was
a
like
generation of young men.
Well, I mean, they weren't great to start with, but we'll get, none of us are. What was I going to say? Well, the classic example they used to have was, when a male teacher hooked up with a female student, everyone was like, he's a creep. And then when a woman hooked up with a male student, everyone was like, oh, whatever, he's a legend. But now we're starting to realize that was also wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm not his teacher, to be fair to me.
No.
Everybody be fair to me.
Everyone be fair. Pancake, stick around with us.
Yeah,
She's getting
stay
upset.
with me, Pancake.
Okay, so you're getting rejected. In general, I did feel bad for you. I'm sorry. I don't mean, it's hard. Even being open and married.
The worst part about getting rejected is just, in this instance, is just that, like, it was the first time I've been kind of excited about somebody in a very long time. Aside from my husband.
Thank you. You got to say that every 2 minutes.
Aside from my husband's, no, but it's like a new thing. So like that, there's like a bit of excitement about it. Like
first time back on the horse, and then you fall off immediately. And
like full disclosure, I haven't dated a new person except for one terrible date with a guy who was like very both sides saying the genocide. I haven't, and I wasn't interested in him either. He just asked me out, and I was like, okay, might as well. Because he lived around the corner. Anyway, you get this sense, and I know that it's not the case, but you like the worst part is just this feeling of like, well, that was my one chance. There it goes.
Well, you're in a unique situation because of a few things happening in your mental health, you've been not wanting to see anybody.
No.
So I'm sure there'll be other people.
Well,
okay? You'll be rejected many more times.
Many more times. I'll be rejected so many times.
Would you like me to reject you? I can do it.
Yeah, maybe just to like build up not my confidence, but my toughness.
Okay, ask me.
Because it had been a long time.
Ask me if we want to have sex.
Julian, you want to have sex?
Yeah, let's do it right now, quickly. I blew it.
Blew it.
Okay, no, it did. And I felt bad. It was kind of funny because I did not. You can be so cocky sometimes. I had no idea that this was hurting you, and I was making jokes, and then you were like, kind of frazzled.
It wasn't even jokes. You were just like, oh, you said that? Oh. And then like walked away, and then we had like a full day. Yesterday we did Hands Off New York.
But no, you were reading me the text, and you were like, oh. That's a weird thing to say. And then I went to pick up the food, and then everyone arrived in 8 hours. And as soon as the thing ended,
8 hours of me just being like, what was the weird thing to say?
Because you couldn't tell me. Then afterwards we got alone and said, what the fuck was the weird thing that I did? Smart guy.
What did I say?
which was funny. Okay, well, here's the other part I thought was interesting. This will be a quick app, so I want to get through it. You said something very funny about who you're attracted to recently, and traditionally when we first met, you were just very... you spoke
Abs.
Yes, you've been very superficial, and saying you just wanted to, you didn't care about anything else.
just hot
And now you said, do you remember what you said? Your something is something?
Oh, my pussy's political. That's true.
Because now this guy, I don't know if you were open to talk about this, but you were saying, he doesn't really necessarily follow the norms you're into physically, but...
Yeah, but he's somebody whose politics don't repulse me. And right now, in this day and age, 99% of people's politics disgust me.
Yeah. So in this case, you were saying traditional physical things you're attracted to have taken a backseat to politics. Mm-hmm. So I want to do a quick game show with you and test that out.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're going to compare two people and you say which one you would rather have sex with. Okay?
Okay.
Number one, we have Bill Skarsgård.
He's one of my favorites.
Hold on, but specifically from the trailer for The Crow.
Oh, yeah. That's like when he hit puberty, basically.
But
that's when he got big.
He loves... The first time we meet him on a first date, he's enthusiastically listening to Jordan Peterson and Charlie Kirk on a podcast, and he's into it. He thinks they get a bad rap. So you can fuck him, or... Have you seen Harry Potter?
Yeah.
Dobby the house elf. Who is an adamant believer that billionaires should not exist.
Okay, well, it's got to be Bill Skarsgård because Dobby's not a human. I'm going
to be honest with you, a lot of these aren't humans.
Oh,
so you're
well,
gonna
he should have done humans.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wanted to go ridiculous.
I'm not really into non-humans. I think I would do Bill Skarsgård and then I would murder him.
Okay, fine. Okay, well, this next one is a human.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the guy who was dating Pepper, who you saw, I thought was really hot.
That hot guy.
But he owns and loves his Cybertruck. Loves Elon Musk. Or Fat Bastard from Austin Powers. And he marches in the No Kings protest.
Well, I fuck no kings. They didn't even ask for anything.
Okay, what's better than that? What's a protest you like?
How about this? He's one of the Filson 28 or whatever, and he's currently dying on a hunger strike in a UK prison.
Okay. That's
Fat Bastard.
Okay, so Fat Bastard lasted a while. But okay, so Fat Bastard's on a hunger strike for the rights of Ireland in the past.
No. They're currently starving to death. These are people who are in jail for destroying parts of a weapons manufacturing company in the UK for Palestine, and they're right now being held without bail. They're not found guilty. They're being held without bail. They're political prisoners, and they're on hunger strike.
But akin
and
to
two
the
of
thing you
them
watched.
are now in critical condition.
All right, so it's Fat Bastard
is
doing that,
dying for the cause.
Or the guy who did Pepper who owns a Cybertruck.
Fat Bastard. I'd fuck him to death.
Okay, but you're like, this guy's doing such good work, I better kill him. Okay.
Well, he's about to die anyway.
Okay, in this example. Okay, now we have Manny Jacinto.
Ooh, I love that man.
Publicly supports ICE. He doesn't actually.
There's a no.
Okay, well,
but then whatever Loch Ness monster you've
That's not the Loch Ness. Loch Ness is majestic. This is the slime ghost from the original Ghostbusters. But he has brokered a treaty to end the genocide in Palestine and create a solution that's actually fair for Palestinians.
Well, it can't be Manny Jacinto. So it's got to be the slime monster.
Okay.
For ICE in the year of our Lord 2025.
Okay. Well, to be clear, the slime monster is...
Even saying those words, my pussy is dried up like a prune.
Okay.
Shrunk up into inside of my body somehow. My vulva is now dried up and inside of me.
Okay. I don't know what you rank of worst of these, because I have one which is Henry Cavill, but he wears a MAGA hat.
Ironically?
No.
Probably Henry Cavill. I could just knock that MAGA hat off his head.
Okay. Or the Grinch. But he was actually the one who freed the slaves, not Abe Lincoln.
Yeah, the Grinch.
You go the Grinch?
I kind of like the Grinch, actually.
Oh, well, Mrs. Too Good for Non-Humans.
I think the Grinch is a human. He's got some sort of thing going on.
What?
I don't know.
I think the Grinch is his profession.
Yeah,
No, I'm kidding.
the Grinch is a human. You've seen those people who have keratin that grows out of their skin? They call them they're bark people or wolf people or something. He's one of those.
Okay. He's the Who from Hillville. Whoville. Okay. That worked out. I probably should spend more time doing that. I really thought you'd fuck Dobby the house elf, honestly.
But Dobby is also, like, it's so creepy. Dobby is, like, this big. Like, if you had said Henry Cavill who wears a red hat, or Henry Cavill who freed the slaves, but he's only 2 feet tall, I would have said the red hat. Like,
Okay.
him being 2 feet tall is like... I wouldn't fuck a 2 foot tall Manny Jacinto.
Okay.
That's like a large Ken doll.
Just to be clear, so everyone knows this. You can actively deport people if you're over 2 feet tall. That's allowed.
And not fuck me.
Yeah, no, that's not off the table. Okay. Well, those are the really silly questions I have for that. I'm sorry, I jumped around the thing. How much more time do we have in this one? Let me check that thing. Oh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Okay, it was only 20 minutes. We're going to do well, should we dive back? Did you have any other games you want for this one?
Any more games.
What? No. Any more discussion about how you're feeling about getting rejected?
I saw you just about to put your slutty little feet up there.
These guys?
Yeah, you were going to do that. Oh, my God. You guys.
Okay, Robin, normally, if the camera wasn't on, Robin would be putting these in her mouth. Big foot fan.
Julian, this is not a lie, did make himself violently ill for an entire weekend by putting my entire foot in his mouth as a gag.
Yeah, and as a gag, that means a joke, not as in like a sexual gag. Although I did gag. Just to be clear, have I told this on the podcast? I probably have. I think this is a funny story. But so we were driving up to meet some of Robin's friends up in where was it again? It was
somewhere upstate.
It was Lake Placid to watch someone do a marathon. And there's this car next to us. Iron Man. So the peak physical condition is what I was doing, and then this other person was doing the Iron Man. And this car was alongside us, and there was this kid who kept staring at me. I didn't care for that. He kept staring at me. Meanwhile, I was in the middle seat, and Robin was on the other side of not the middle seat, I was on the right seat, she was on the left seat, and she had her bare feet in my lap just because she was like resting. And then this
My
kid,
bare feet, like I had been wearing sandals walking around New York City that whole morning.
Yeah, and actually, if you'd like to, you can buy those muddied heels on your. We're selling them to a creepy. No, and then the kid was looking at me, and then so I just picked up Robin's foot and I held it up like and showed the kid because like from his angle, I guess he didn't know what this foot was. I was like maybe he'll think it's my foot, and then he's looking at the foot, and then I had what I thought was a pretty good prank idea. Where I pretended to put it in my mouth for a second, and he's like looking kind of weird, and then I just went like whoa, and I put all of it. And to be clear, I'm not in defeat, despite all the evidence in the contrary. I have many weird things. Sorry, Pancake, I loaded him with my noise. And I put it as far as I could.
I keep get rejected by a younger
And then
man.
the kid freaks out and starts screaming. And then he points to his mum and dad, goes, Mom, look at the man. And then I quickly put Robin's foot down and go like this, so nothing's happening. And then so the kid goes, he's got a foot in his mouth, And they look, and I'm just sitting there completely normal.
And was it worth it?
Well, no. So unfortunately, unrelated. Unrelated to that. And
you got a flesh-eating bacteria in the back of your throat.
Well, nothing was diagnosed, but it certainly hurt a lot, and I got very ill. And really didn't get to see much of the race, to be honest with you. And no, it wasn't worth it. But to see that kid do the boy who cried wolf, his parents in the car, was funny. If I had known how disgusting your feet were, and you'd been walking
you were with me the whole morning. You knew.
I didn't think you were
If I
trudging
had known, he had known.
No, I didn't really think it through. But I didn't know you could even get that. There is something called foot in mouth. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Apparently it's like super communicable. What is that?
Okay.
Contagious.
It's got great communication. So I got that, and that was painful. Anyway, that's not a fun side. Let's go back to something more fun. You getting rejected.
It happened. I got rejected. It was shocking. We're all shocked.
It was funny because I felt bad because you haven't really explored any openness in the last little bit. So it's been a very great deal for me. Well, I can go around and be open, and everyone's like, so Robin can be with other people? I was like, no.
You're so stupid.
Gross. No. I mean, she's allowed, but she wouldn't dare. And then you asked someone else that, and I was like, oh, now I have to deal with this. Mm-hmm. And I was like, is this what I've been doing to Robin?
No.
And then I spoke to you, and then you were like, when you got rejected, I was like, oh, it's kind of funny. And then you were sad, and I was like, oh, no. And then that's a very weird thing to be open. I have to be like, hey, you'll get him next time, kid.
It is really genuinely so strange to be like talking to my husband about how sad I am to be rejected by somebody who lovely person. I have no hard feelings, and I'm lovely person, great person. I wouldn't have asked him out otherwise. but but not somebody who I would have chosen to marry. And I'm sitting next to like a 6'5" Australian who's genuinely gorgeous and funny and kind. And I'll stop saying nice things about him now. It's not good for his health.
So my FaceTime turned on out of the blue, and I was like, "Is someone watching this?" That's why I got scared. But say more nice things, so I could.
No, I'm glad you missed it. So it's really interesting to be like sad or complaining to you, my gorgeous husband, about somebody who who I wouldn't have chosen to marry, and who it doesn't mean all the who I don't have this connection with.
But I've had the same thing when I've asked someone out and I've gotten rejected and I'm sad, and then I have to be like, just to be clear, they don't really matter to me. But I just got rejected, and that's no good.
It's no good.
And getting rejected and been like, I have a wife, I'll have you know, and she loves me very much.
I will say though, I stand by my just get rejected. Who gives a shit? Like as much as it sucks, it doesn't suck that bad. And quite honestly, if you don't slide, you get slid.
But you say that, but then you were a little sad.
No, of course I was sad, but that experience was better than me begrudgingly going on a date with somebody who I wasn't that attracted to just because they asked, and had been the only person who asked for a really long time.
Yeah, of course, be the one who asks, and then otherwise you end up with.
You have to ask. You have to be like, if you pick somebody, you've got to go ask them. Life is too short.
Yes, but nonetheless, I think just your smart part of your brain is saying that. But I saw the other part of it when you were like, I could tell you were rattled.
Well, the other part that was very, very tired and had just spent 8 hours going, wait, what did I say that was so insane in this text message?
But I more meant when you were like, when you texted me and you're like, okay, I texted him, I can't look at my phone right now. Yeah. And I was like, that was the most high school thing you've ever said. You were like,
yeah, it's stressful.
Yeah.
Just like, I also have never asked somebody out via text.
I mean, it's this situation we have is weird, and that makes it well. And I guess you kind of missed the dating apps. I guess. I mean, obviously we met in the dating app.
Yeah, the only time I had on the dating apps was
you were also at a weird spot
couple months in 2020.
You don't really like the dating app. Well, even though the program is called one of the apps, but when someone you know in real life, and then transitioning that to an actual dating thing is much trickier. And much scarier, because it's like you're messing with things, and it's like you're trying, as opposed to the dating app one, it's like they mean nothing to me. Because they're just a match.
Yeah.
So if nothing happens, okay,
they're
whatever.
They're not a real person.
I don't actually have to have an awkward encounter.
They're an idea of a person.
Yeah.
We got to deal with Taco. All right, we got a sick cat, and we got to deal with him. So
we got a political pussy and a sick pussy.
Yeah.
No, but I regret saying that. I apologize, and there's no way to edit it out now. Okay, we'll. Thank you for listening. That was a quick update. Jeff said that was a fun thing. Anyway, thanks so much for listening.